Hey everyone, it's John. Welcome back. So today I want to talk to you about a morning ritual that this billionaire never missed, that can vastly increase the practice and the peace you feel every single day without having to wait for that feeling of motivation to hit. And I hope this video helps you. So let's begin. Alright, so let me ask you this question and tell me if this sounds familiar. You wake up every morning, and before your feet even hits the floor, your mind is already somewhere completely different, already replaying the conversation from yesterday, already dreading that meeting at 9 a.m, and already running through the list of things you didn't finish, the bills that are due, the people you haven't called back, and the day hasn't even started yet, and you feel like you're already behind. Does that feel like something that you can resonate with? If that's you, just know that I've been like that too, and it's very much okay because that's what most of the society operates under. And most people just accept that and they think that that's just what their mornings feel like. And it's okay if you feel that way. No judgment at all. I just want to help you change that completely. So what happens in that case is when we wake up, we let the world come into our consciousness, and then we spend the rest of our day just trying to catch up with ourselves. But here's what I've come to understand, that those first 5 minutes when you open your eyes are actually the most powerful 5 minutes of your entire day. And if you are spending that time doing something else that is not productive, you're actually hurting yourself and you're drowning yourself from that light that you should be feeling in the morning, that clarity that you have. That is what we're all looking for, and we don't want to give it away to the world. We don't want to give it away to our phones, social media, and let it just drain our soul from right when we wake up, right? So this man that I'm about to talk about figured this out when he was 20, and he has been doing this one morning routine that essentially helped make him build a financial empire worth over $20 billion. And he did this thing in the morning for over 50 years now. And this man was and is Ray Dalio. So Ray was ambitious, he was driven and hungry, and when he was younger, he didn't have all this. He didn't have this practice. When he was younger, he had this mind that just never shut off. He was ambitious, but that mind was controlling him. And if you've ever felt that way, if you know what I'm talking about, that mind that keeps running the show, not us, the brain who has a running commentary at full volume from the moment you wake up to the moment you finally pass out at night, you know how exhausting that is, that constant chatter in our brain. And Ray Dalio, like everyone else, including me, was drowning in my own thinking, in his own thinking. And that was until he tried meditation. And I can already hear some of you thinking, here we go, another meditation promo or something like that. But stay with me, because what Ray found wasn't or isn't the kind of meditation that you are picturing. It wasn't about sitting on a cushion or achieving some kind of inner peace that monks are talking about. It is something actually much more practical that you can apply every single morning if you just give it a chance. And it's honestly way more powerful than you would ever imagine. So there was one period in 1982 where Ray Dalio suffered a career-ending setback. He made a really bad call in the financial markets, and he lost billions of dollars in front of, his peers, his own finances, and it could easily set anyone back decades. And it could literally crush anybody who was going through that. So for most people, maybe that would be how our story would have ended if we were faced with the same situation. But every morning, through all of it, through the loss and the shame and the uncertainty, Ray Dalio sat in stillness, not to solve it, not to strategize his way out, but just to sit. And what that practice gave him in those dark moments was something that changed the entire trajectory of what came after. Psychologists call this metacognition, the ability to step back and observe your own thinking without being dragged under by it. So to watch the fear without becoming the fear, to see the panic without letting the panic make your decisions. So think about what that actually means in daily practice. Instead of waking up and immediately drowning in, I failed, I'm finished, who am I without this thing, this career, this money, this stuff. Ray would sit with his thoughts long enough to ask a much simpler question and a much more useful question. What is actually true here? Not what this means about me, not what people will say, just what is true and what do I do next? And from that, he rebuilt his company, Bridgewater, and he did it in his apartment. And over the next few decades, Bridgewater became the largest hedge fund in the world, managing over $150 billion for the world's most powerful sovereign wealth funds, pension funds, and governments even. And these are the clients that he has now that don't make mistakes about who they trust their money with. And when people ask Ray Dalio, when journalists, interviewers, and young investors want to know the secret, the formula, the thing that he actually explains how he got here, right now, he says the same thing every single time. And I love this because it never changes no matter who he's asking or who's asking and what context he's in, whether it's in an interview with Diary of the CEO or in news outlets. He says meditation, more than anything else in my life, was the biggest ingredient of whatever success I had. It wasn't his analytical mind, it was not his Harvard degree, it was not the connections he had built, and not even the principles that he's famous for, that he writes in his book. What he credits all his success to, the billions of dollars that he has earned over his lifetime, and to start from zero, to crash and come back up, he said that 5 minutes of stillness a day, every morning, for 50 years is what changed his life completely. Now I want you to sit with that for a second, because I think it's easy to just hear that and just file it away as another inspiring story or quote or practice. But what Ray is actually describing isn't a spiritual practice or a productivity hack. He's describing the one thing that allowed him to see clearly when everyone around him was reacting to the noise, to the markets, and to turmoil, wars, and all the uncertainty in the world. He used the practice to stay grounded when the ground was literally shaking, right? To make decisions from a place of clarity instead of a place of fear. If you're in a situation as like him, I think many of us will make decisions out of fear. We wouldn't be simply just, we'll be doing everything we can to survive, right? We won't think clearly. We would just operate from like a very moment of despair. But he did it completely differently. He chose to embody being still and having a clear mind and operating from an observatory way. And here's what neuroscience tells us about why this works. So your brain, in its natural resting state, is actually a very remarkable thing. Your brain is actually calm, it is creative, and is capable of seeing things clearly. It's only when we flood the brain immediately with signals of noise, the second we wake up, with notifications, with messages from negative people, from the news, from people who are pessimistic, and yesterday's problems, and other people's emergencies or urgencies, that our brain becomes cluttered, and we, as a frequency, as a body, we become chaotic. So the stillness isn't actually something you need to manufacture. The stillness is already there. It is your natural state, and you have just been covering it up, whether you know it or not. So I just want you to think about your morning for a second. Those first 5 minutes when you open your eyes for the first time, or if your eyes are still closed, you know you're awake, where does your mind go? Do you go straight to a problem or a trauma or a worry? Or do you open your eyes and you go straight to your smartphone, your iPhone, your Galaxy, Android, and you start scrolling through negative news and social media? Or do you go straight to yesterday's argument you had with your spouse? Or do you go straight into someone else's world before you've even had a moment in your own time? So I want you to know that every morning you do that, you're essentially handing over the most powerful part of your day before it's even begun. And then you kind of spend the rest of your day and your waking hours trying to find the calm that you already gave it away in the morning, the moment your alarm went off. And I want you to know that it doesn't have to be that way. So here's the one thing I want you to try tomorrow. The first thing when you wake up, before anything happens, before you reach for your phone, before your mind starts running the day's agenda, I want you to just sit still for 5 minutes, feel your breath, and notice your awareness of who you are and your being. And if you want an extra kick, right, to turbo boost your morning, then I want you to throw in a gratitude practice like the one we mentioned in the other session. Marry those two together and you have the most powerful morning you've ever had. And these are what the top billionaires, CEOs, spiritual masters, people who have made it in life will all say that their mornings are the most protected. Even just Jeff Bezos said that the morning is when he does his most clear decisions, and the rest of the day he does not make any important decisions because he has already been filled with, clutter and people's problems, and he can't think clearly. So I guarantee that if you do this, you will not only feel better about yourself and your day, but you will also make much wiser and better decisions that would otherwise be making you to catch up for, if you're making the wrong decisions because your day has already started wrongly. And if this works for you, I want you to write it down in the comments below. And if it doesn't, tell me why it doesn't, and let me see how I can do to help you improve your morning. Maybe your morning is always woken up by your kid who is scratching at the door, or like your cat or your dog who's jumping on you. If any of those distractions are in your morning routine, like if that's the first thing you wake up to, let's see if you can at least move it away for some mornings and see if that changes how you approach the rest of your day, instead of letting some traumatic event wake you up in the morning and just set you off on the wrong track for the rest of the day. Yep. As usual, if you have anything you want me to address, then leave in the comments below. If you need more help, reach out to me and I'll see what I can do for you. Otherwise, as always, you are seen, you are heard. I love you, I deeply care about you, and I'll see you guys in the next one.